today with Scotty's study of the Mountain of God, and you've got me all excited because you say we got some interesting things planned, so take it away.
We're going to try to break some new ground here.
Here we go. We like to break things around here, no doubt about that.
So I learned a lot in the last 4 hours.
Okay. That's the way we do things around here, isn't it?
So
who's trained in that? Oh, I'm not. Okay, you got 3 hours. Get her done.
That being said, I'm trying to prepare you for this. Isn't the greatest presentation, but it's something really neat. So can we go ahead and roll that piece of footage? It's a movie file that we recorded. Whoa. Now that's Living Waters, and that was my car.
Dramamine.
And so we're moving out away from California and the Earth. And so we're spinning over here.
Right,
there's
cool.
Africa. There's Arabia. And I'm going to try to orient it so that north is north. And then zoom in. Now, all of this is on Google Earth. And so I wanted to show you some of the neat things, if you're not familiar with what you can do here. Now there's Egypt and the Nile Delta and the Red Sea and the Two Fingers, and the Gulf of Aqaba is there on the right.
Hey, that's a falafel place below Mount Hermon where I ate right there.
If those push pins are markers that I put in, and what I'm doing is zooming in to Al-Bada, which is the area where Jethro, and this is in Midian, and Danny held up a sign, needs seat belts.
Please keep your hands and feet in the car at all times.
If you zoom in far enough, you see these little bubbles, and you can click on that, and this is a panoramic that you can actually go into. What? And this is the Well of Moses. And so then once you get in there, you can pan around.
That's the actual spot.
Yeah, that's the spot.
No way.
Saudi Arabia Tourism Group did this, and so that's the well. And it's been there for thousands of years, I believe. And it's just fascinating. You could spend time there. So this is coming back out. And again, we're in Midian, and that's where Jethro and Moses would have tended sheep and flocks, and he was in this area when he came across the mountain of God, Horeb, or the Almond Mountain is also it's called. And it's up there on the upper right. So you see that other push pin. I'm going kind of far because I don't have control of this thing yet.
You're a new test pilot.
Yeah. Seat belts on. Here we come back in. Now this is the mountain of God. And this is the area where it is. And there's a lot of evidence here. Well, as you zoom in, you start seeing these little dots in there. And you can click on them. Now, that's pictures of the altar of God. And people have posted these at those locations. Now, that's the mountain of God. Or one of the possible sites. I have to say possible sites because you're going to see a lot. But if you go there and explore, you'll see it. Now, they're kind of in the middle above that circle that you see. We're going to zoom in closer, and it's amazing how much detail is in these. But you begin to see that area that's shaped kind of like a loose L. Yeah. And that's the altar of Moses, supposedly, that's been marked out. And when you get in...
I'm sorry, Scotty, is that the one?
Okay, can you pause it there?
I've seen some documentary. Is that the one where there's some inscriptions on the side of the altar? Is there
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, there's another altar that's where they looks like they built the golden calf.
Oh, that And
it's got calf inscriptions on the rocks.
Wow.
But this is the place. Go ahead and move it forward. What I wanted to say is you can get close and look at this in a 3D image. And once you get a handle on the controls, which you can see I didn't, but you can start to move around along the terrain and zoom in and zoom out and actually get an idea for what the terrain is like there. And we're sitting here in California in Bellflower, and that's in Saudi Arabia, and that's Mount Sinai up there at the top.
Don't tell easy, because this probably would have been a lot cheaper than actually taking all
Going
of us to Israel.
Well, except for all of Carol's pictures
That's
and
true,
all the
absolutely,
footage that
yes.
Eddie and the rest of us
Yeah.
shot. I think here in a moment I'm going to click on one of the pictures. Oh, that's that calf altar
Oh, okay.
there. And but I wanted to show you. So up there is Mount Sinai, where we think it was, and there is these two huge rocks with an almond tree in the middle of the rocks. And so if the camp of Israel, that's it there, the two huge rocks, and in the center of those rocks is this bush. It's an almond tree. And so if
Wow.
Moses was up there,
And that's at the top.
yeah, and the children of Israel were down at the bottom, they could see all that was going on.
Wow.
And they could hear the voice of God and the thunder and lightning. And it becomes an incredible scene, and your imagination goes wild. But then when that's it, I think you can stop
Wow.
it,
Now,
Dave.
even though you're just starting, I mean, how long have you been playing with Google Earth? Have you been doing it all along as part of the study you're doing? or-
Most of what you saw there, I figured out how to do
Really?
this morning.
I can just imagine doing that, spending a little time doing that,
Yeah.
and then going to the biblical text after doing that.
Oh,
It'd be
yeah, if you had
Much
time.
like going to Israel and then coming home, and you just see the Bible
Yeah.
entirely in a new,
New
broader
light.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes real to you, and that's what's so exciting about this and about the book. Do we have a graphic of the book? I don't know if we showed it or not, but the book, when I started to look at those things and the descriptions in it, I realized it was really putting flesh and to the bones
Yeah.
of the scripture, and as I began to realize that, I had picked it up in the middle. I went back to the beginning, and like I've said before, I'm not skipping a page. And most of what I'm reading now, I'm reading over and over because there is so much information there. And when you begin to research it, and the tools that we have available to us, things like Google Earth, and I'm sure on the internet you can find much more stuff. There's videos out there. I think Ron Wyatt is his name, the Indiana Jones of biblical archaeology, and other people have also gone before us in this area. It becomes it can take up all your time. Don't do that.
Well, there are better
We
ways.
still
I mean,
need to
that's certainly
share our
better than
faith. And
some of the ways we spend our
but
time
this
on
is
that.
where the Ten Commandments were given.
Wow.
And so I think it's appropriate for what we're talking about, evangelism, living waters, using the law in evangelism. God gave it for a purpose. And Mount Sinai is such an example also of God's biblical principles. Resist the proud and give grace to the humble. But Mount Sinai, Spurgeon often talks about it with thundering and lightning. Well, that's what the law is. It comes in and it exposes the sin, and it's harsh and it's hard, but it's a correct standard.
Yeah.
And that it's what makes grace amazing.
Now, have you had opportunity yet, out at Huntington Beach or out at the movie theater, to utilize some of what you've learned in this study in the context of an open air? I mean, have you come across an objection or two where what you've learned has been helpful?
I haven't really, but I've thought about it because it has come up, archaeology.
Sure.
And once in a while, I will talk about archaeology, how nothing has ever controverted the facts that the Bible presents and things like that. But now I have a much deeper pool to reference, and talking about Sinai and evidence, and hey, those places are still there. Go on Google Earth, and
There you go.
and I can't wait
Yeah.
to say those things. They just haven't come up yet.
All right.